So right now, all of our enemies exhibit the exact same behavior. And you can see when we have a single enemy class. And when I put enemies in the game, I just have an enemy Lokes, and I am only putting one kind of enemy in the game. But what I would really like to do is have different enemies that have different behaviors. And so I've gone ahead and grabbed some new images. And so in my characters class, I've got the Spike Ball, the Spike Man, and the Cloud. And what I want to do is give each of them different behaviors. And so I'm going to ditch the enemy, these little saw blade things, and I'm going to use these new enemies now in this video. So first, what I want to do is I'm going to make a spike ball video, or a spike ball enemy. And the spike ball enemy is going to be kind of a dumb enemy, and it's just going to roll along, and then when it gets to the edge of the platform, it's going to fall off. And the only thing it's ever going to do is bounce back and forth when it hits something. The Spike Man enemy, I'm going to make him platform aware. And so it will stay on top of the platform along the way this one is. And then I'm also going to put a Cloud enemy into the game. And the Cloud enemy is just going to move back and forth across the screen, so it won't be affected by gravity, nor will it check platforms. So I'm going to get out of the way, and let's take a look at how we can do this. All right, so I am, the first thing I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and load up these images. And so instead of just having a generic enemy image, what I'm going to do is, let's copy this 3 times, and we're going to do Spike Man, or I'll do Spike Ball first. And we'll do Spike Man, and then I'll do the Cloud. And just, let's see, Spike Ball. We're not animated yet, so I'll just do the Spike Ball 1. The Spike Man, we'll just pick the first image, right? Again, we'll animate it later and make it go back and forth. And then the Cloud is just Cloud. And so I don't know if I might delete these because I don't know if I want to use them or not. I'll make that decision later. All right, so now what I want to do is go ahead and put in the setup function, create loops for different, or locations for different kind of enemies. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, let's see, I'll say my Spike Ball Lokes, and I'll do 11, 7, and 12, 4. I'll leave it at that. I'll do my Spike Man Lokes. And I'm just going to put 1 in the game, so I'll do it at 7, 2. He'll be sitting up on that the high platform, going back and forth. And then my Cloud Lokes, and I'm just going to put 1 Cloud in the game. So it's still in a list, but we're only going to put 1 ordered pair in the list. And I'm going to put that at 8, 1, so that should be up in the sky somewhere. Right? So those will be my enemy locations. And now what I need to do is go make unique Spike Ball, Spike Man, and Cloud Loke classes. So I'm going up to the enemy here. And what I've done in this class is I've described all of the things that an enemy might be able to do. But this is really just like a generic enemy class. But what I'm going to do is not put enemies or generic enemies into the game at all. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and delete the update out of the enemy, right? And that's it. And so now there is no, so now the enemy is not something that can actually do any of these tasks. Instead, what I'm going to make are subclasses. So you can see our enemy extends the entity class, so it can do everything an entity can do. And I'm going to make a new class, and we'll do Spike Ball. Remember, when you're doing classes, we always capitalize. Okay? And this one is going to extend the enemy class. And so we need an initializer, right? That we always need. And so the initializer is just going to, we just need to look at what the enemy needs and pass the information along. So I'm just going to take these 2 lines right here. And so the reason I did this is that, you know, every class needs an initializer, and the enemy needs an X and a Y and an image to go in. So here we make a call to super and we send the X, Y, and image in. And then all I have to do is I'll say def update. And this is where we decide what a spike ball can do. So spike balls can move and check platforms. So we'll say self.move and check platforms. Spike balls will check the world edges. We'll say, and let's say spike balls are going to be affected by gravity. So I'll say self.apply gravity. Remember, apply gravity, this is borrowed all the way from the entity class. So like a spike ball is an enemy and an enemy is an entity. So the spike ball gets all the entity stuff as well. And let's see. So check world edges and move and check platforms. All right. So these are the 3 things that my spike ball is going to do. And so let's go put some in the game. And so I've got my, let's see, I've got my spike ball lokes. And so instead of saying for loke and enemy lokes, right, we're going to loop through the spike ball lokes, and we're not going to make an instance of an enemy. We're going to make a spike ball. And I'm going to make sure that I do the spike ball image. And so if we run this, we should have a couple spike balls in the game. Let's see there, and there they go. And they're affected by gravity, and they go back and forth, so they're kind of my dumb enemy. So let's say we want to make a smarter enemy. We'll do the spike man. Well, we can go up here, and I'll just copy this. Oops. And we'll make the spike man. And the spike man is also going to check the platform edges. So we'll say self.check platform edges. And so we'll go ahead and put some in the game. So we'll just copy this. And this will be the spike man lokes. And we'll make a spike man. And we'll do spike man image. And so let's see if we got the spike man in the game. And there he goes. And he's has his own behavior. And so we'll do the same thing for the cloud. And so I'll just copy this again. And I'll do a cloud. And clouds don't care about platforms. And they don't care about gravity. And, you know, they probably don't care about platforms either. So we can just get rid of that, right? So the only thing a cloud does is just move back and forth across the edge of the screen. Now, I'm not checking the platform, so I suppose the cloud could just go right behind platforms. If you wanted it to bounce off platforms, leave that in there. I think I'm just going to design the game so that platforms are never where a cloud is. And, oh yeah, we have to actually put some clouds in the game. So we'll just copy this again. And we'll go through the cloud lokes. And we'll make a cloud class instead. And make sure that we do the cloud image. And let's run it. And there we have, oops. Did I put an update in my cloud? Oh, we do need to move. Okay, so we need self.move and check platforms. I suppose we don't really need it to check the platforms if we wanted it to move behind them, but the move code is in this function, so we actually still need that. So let's run this. And our cloud goes back and forth, and it should turn around when it hits the edges. All right, so that's it. And what you should see in this is, right, we have this generic enemy class, which is everything an enemy might be able to do, but we don't actually make generic enemies. Instead, we extend the enemy class, and since they all have the same, we initialize them all the same way, and all we have to do is change the update function. And so we can pick and choose behaviors that we want different types of enemies to have. All right, so that's it for this lesson. And if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will talk to you in the next video.